Red grapes.
Red grapes. Oh, is this the part where you're expecting me to talk?
I'm hoping you will.
Hmm.
If not for, my sake or the department's sake or the truth's sake, for the warden's sake.
The warden's sake?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, how so on that one? I'm really curious on that one.
We'll just say that there's a few of us whose lives are in danger, her being one of them.
You remember whenever I was building up Marshalls
Mm-hmm.
and
Whoa!
anyway,
Until I see them for BRM code 5 at this time.
Okay, that's done with that.
howdy, howdy.
So, yes, Marshall's.
During the entire time I was building that up and working on it on the side and, had all this stuff in the background of my mind, I did a lot of digging. And did quite a few amount of people. Not gonna name names specifically, because, stuff does have to stay at least somewhat secret. However, somebody did catch my eye while I was working on another case. One on Maverick, actually. God, I hate that motherfucker.
He's such a scumbag.
Yes, he is. I can't wait to kill him myself. Anyway, while I was doing some digging and investigating and taking pictures, etc., I did come across a few things that were incredibly interesting.
Interesting is good.
Interesting is good, but interesting also has a price.
I don't have a lot of money. I can't get the department to approve a lot of money.
Let me go ahead and stop you there. My price isn't money, Verkazi. Money is meaningless to me. I have $2 million of cars sitting in the DOC parking lot.
So what do you want?
A favor.
A specific favor, or are we just waiting on a favor?
A favor that if I choose to invoke it, you act. It won't be anything that gets you in trouble. Won't be murder or anything like that. That stuff is meaningless. But let's just say if the time comes for it, and I text you for it, I want you in my corner.
Deal.
Glad we can come to an agreement. Now, as for the information you want.
Considering what you've given me about about myself in the past, I'm assuming, not myself, but you know, the two of them sneaking off, I'm assuming this is some good stuff and it is worth this favor.
Oh, it's worth the favor and a whole lot more. But I'm fair. So, how much of it do you want? And don't say all of it. Because all of it is not an option.
I need enough that A, I can make my case, assuming there is even a case to be made here, and B, if there is a case to be made here, that I can make sure that he is no longer going to be a threat to myself, Natalie, or the department.
The picture you have in your mind right now about what you think is going on is a good start. But I would advise looking a lot harder at the bigger picture. Redgraves does indeed own a suit, if you know what I'm saying. But it's not just one.
Really now.
James, do you know how detectives like to get CIs and everything?
Mm-hmm.
I would be incredibly careful and consider Redgraves himself a CI. Except you might want to call it an information criminal.
Do you have some sort of proof of this?
Yes and no. Proof, yes. Verifiable proof? A little bit more on the difficult side due to the amount of distance I had to be away.
That's a fair point.
What I would advise is keep a very, very watchful eye on the Southside docks.
Southside docks, alright.
There's a single spot within the docks themselves where some very interesting meetings with some very interesting people take place. One of them, a good friend of mine, you might remember him from whenever I shot him out of his Camacho. Another one being somebody who likes to be off duty and wear a bright pink and yellow and purple and blue tank top with some shorts. At times, occasionally the man who dresses in red. And the most interesting one of all. The one who comes whenever it rains.
The one who comes whenever it rains. That one I've never heard.
A storm, if you would. Maybe the color purple ring a bell for you? You know, I thought I was being really, really clever with that, but holy shit.
You were, but that one just escaped me.
Now, I will give you a little bit of advice and suggestive pushes, if need be, over the course of your investigation, of course.
Of course.
Don't just look at red graves.
You're saying that we have other rats?
Not rats per se. More so in line with people who don't know how to keep their mouth shut. And cops who don't like to keep their mouth shut, no offense here at all. They give away a lot of sensitive information.
That's why this case is highly compartmentalized.
Well, that's definitely a good way to start it. One last thing, Brakazi.
Yeah?
You need to be incredibly careful who you meet with.
Do you have somebody I should not be meeting with?
Just... I can't go into things too much. But be incredibly careful who you meet with and where you meet them at.
I appreciate that bit of advice.
I think with the information I've given you, you can start a pretty solid investigation. However, if you wish to track red graves, then what you need to do is not be noticeable. Meaning, this car, gone.
Well, no, if I'm tracking somebody, it's in a fully not police vehicle. It's in a personal
Good.
vehicle. I'm not that stupid. This is just for investigative work that's not tracking somebody. Honestly, we're probably just gonna get a tracker on his vehicle if need be. Actually, that's exactly what we're gonna do.
Are you sure about that one?
I mean, it'll help help us to track him, but he's probably not using his vehicle to go to these Southside Dock meetings.
He did once. One time, and one time only. Oh, 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 help. Okay.
That happened.
Yup. Do you have any credible information yourself on the case, or are you gathering evidence at this point in time?
This is, I'm still gathering evidence. As you can imagine, it took a little bit of doing to convince people that, this was not personal and was professional.
Understandable.
But, you know, when I got back from Hawaii, my head was clear, and, you know, I've kind of said, fuck my emotions, I don't really care anymore, and, yeah, this is related to he showed up someplace he shouldn't have been, for no real reason.
Mm-hmm.
So, pulled the flight data recorders, started talking to some people. By the way, since you're IA at DOC, I've got 2 of my officers currently under investigation as part of this. One of yours was as a ride-along for that.
Okay. I'm assuming this is Dre Suchi.
It is.
Mm-hmm. He made me aware of it yesterday.
Perfect. I have no reason to suspect him to be involved in it, but anyone that was on this helicopter is suspect as far as I'm concerned. So you might want to keep an eye on him.
I would highly reconsider that position due to the words he told me immediately following. He said they were looking for something very, very specific the entire time they were on that helicopter ride.
So, from what I've been told, it was a black market, but I don't actually believe that.
Yeah, especially with a helicopter hovering for 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I think I have one more thing that's going to be pretty beneficial to you.
What's that?
Don't look at Redgrave as a person. Look at him as a whole.
I mean, that's the next step. It's not just him, it's his assets, his connections, his bank account.
Mm-hmm. If you can obtain a warrant for his transactions, I would highly recommend it.
That's actually on our agenda.
Just think of how good of a detective I could be, Verkazi. Damn.
I'm not gonna lie, you've convinced me. Kind of worries me what you might know about me.
Would you like an example?
I really don't think I do. I
Fair enough. Moving forward, if you need my evidence, I can provide that. However, my name stays completely off of it. That's non-negotiable.
That can happen.
Good. By the way, you voting for deputization of DOC, that does not count as your vote for what I need.
That's a fair point, and I was doing that anyway. We need more Leos in this town.
Yes, we do.
I guess my next step is to get a subpoena for the records.
I would be careful with who you talk to in DOJ about that.
I mean, I worry about talking to, any of them. Mikey Truth, Ray Fontaine, Milo. They're all suspect.
If I was you, how I would do it, bring them in under an official matter. Because if you bring them in, and they fuck up in the slightest, you get to arrest them. Don't give them information that they don't need, but tell them it is a confidential matter in which they will be going to you directly. If they so much as share a single shred of information, they're done.
That makes sense. Fuck. Why is everyone in this town fucking dirty?
I think you might be looking at one of the only people that isn't. And that's honestly shocking for me to say.
You've given me quite a bit of information here. I'm gonna have to start shifting through it. I'm almost afraid to ask what this favor's gonna be one day.
Like I said, nothing that'll get you in trouble. Just what I was doing whenever I was running marshals, I greatly enjoyed.
Fair enough.
And I think that'll about do it for this meeting. I should probably get back to DOC.
Yep, I'll give you your ride back.
Oh, that is much appreciated. You're a gentleman too.
I am.
Don't buy me dinner. Holy shit.
Is she seeing him?
Mercedes?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want me to be honest?
I do.
As far as I know, she's had a few meetings with him. She's in text messages, obviously, but that was bound to happen.
Yeah.
I don't believe anything official, but that doesn't mean that there's not something there.
This motherfucker gets in the middle of our marriage. For what purpose, who knows? It's not personal gain.
Is it? Or, correction, isn't it?
I mean, indirectly.
No, directly. You're looking at this all wrong, Verkazi. You're what, a lieutenant, correct?
Yep.
Which is the next step up from Sergeant 2?
Yep.
And if, I don't know, say a Sergeant 2 proved that for whatever reason you were taking out personal grudges on the job, would make the Sergeant 2 look really, really good now, wouldn't it?
cheeky motherfucker. You're telling me he broke up this marriage? Well, I mean, obviously it was destined to break up if a fucking snake like him could get in between it so easily.
Rakazi, let me ask you a question here.
Yeah.
What's better, a command member that's giving information to criminals, or a sergeant?
A command member.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, Rakazi, big picture.
I'm gonna kill him. No,
I would highly advise against that.
nah.
You're gonna kill me. Holy shit.
Relax. Put your seatbelt on.
I don't ever wear a seatbelt.
Same. I'm not gonna actually kill him. I may go to the range with a picture of him and shoot at it a few times before I continue this investigation.
One more piece of advice for you, Rakazi.
Yep.
Don't ask how I know this. Don't call him into your office again.
I don't even want to know how you know that, but what's he gonna do? Kill me?
No. It would be dumb as hell to shoot you inside of the precinct. However, if, say, the cameras did catch you, I don't know, throwing a fit, getting angry, slamming your fist, wouldn't be hard for somebody to assume that maybe you wind up dead, and then your gun's in your hand, and Redgraves is the one who did it. Wouldn't be hard to assume that maybe you attacked him first. From now on, your interaction with Redgraves should be 0.
I need a no bullshit assessment on this. Because I can't do this alone.
Okay.
Dino and Andrews.
What about him?
Should I be worried about them being involved in investigating this?
Yes, but not for the reasons you're thinking. Well, Andrews, for the reason you're thinking. Dino, not so much, but I believe at the end of the day, he's gonna protect Mercedes over you. That's pretty much just fact.
I mean, I'm not even worried. I could not be less worried about my own safety or career at this point. All I care about is that little girl.
Best advice I can give you is play this really, really closely to the chest. Don't for a single second think that you're smarter than anybody, you know what they're doing, or that you have enough information to put anyone away. No, however, if you need my services, or my opinion, or anything, you know, you have my number, you can just text me.
Let me just double check, make sure I have it.
Oh, if you don't, I'm gonna be highly offended.
I don't think we ever texted each other.
This is like coming on the face of your date, and then not taking her out for a second. Do you know how offensive that is, Rakazi?
I don't, but I'm assuming it's rather. It sounds rather offensive. What's your number, Tyler?
It's 545-4602. Now, if this gets to the point where it's going to be incredibly dangerous for either of us, I will set up a secure line where you can contact me at any point throughout the entire day. However, you know, my personal phone works for now, I suppose.
I think that that should work for now. Alright.
Alright, I'm going back to work.
I'm gonna go back to work as well. Thank you for this enlightening conversation about, geraniums.
You're very welcome.
Responsible for this one.
Four to one is back on frequency. I'll be 10-9 mission row.
It don't matter.
Yeah, so next time, first of all, I will talk with him about this. Second of all,
Traffic authority special mid between 10 I and Grove Street.